This is a video about how to make a very simple ad. I have tried Photoshop and some other programs. I bought them. They're very complicated, difficult to use, and really this is a tool that can just help you either create an ad for a charity, create a simple ad for a business who doesn't have the business savvy to do it themselves, to just sort of mock up something so somebody could see what their ad could look like. So I do it now on Word, and I've tried different things, and it's just way too complicated. So I do it on Word now. When you open a regular Word document, then go up to the View, and then click on Publishing Layout. It will change everything for you, so you work more in like categories and templates than you do in just actual text, and this makes things much easier. Saved to my desktop, I have the 3 sizes of ads. I'm going to show you just how to do a 3-unit ad because it'll be just, I think, the most useful for you. But the same is true for 2-unit or 1-unit. You insert a picture from your file as long as you have the size saved to your desktop. And I think I have it saved as Unit 3, and this is just goes to show why it's much better to have things saved in a way that you can find them. Okay, so there's a 3-unit ad size. Now, in order to make the ad, I want to work on a bigger area just so that I can see the detail that's going in. And of course, you just have to remember that you're going to come back to it and it's going to be this size, so you can't have print that is too small because you won't be able to see it. And I cannot stress enough how less is more when it comes to these ads and how important it is to educate potential advertisers or anyone who wants to put something on their site that somebody can click and get more information, whether they get more information by clicking on the ad and getting to a website or by clicking on the ad and getting to another page within our site. Less is definitely more. It's more eye-catching. And it works great. So what you can do is just keeping the dimensions the same, because now this is an image, you can make this bigger. And then what I do is, if you're on the home page up here, you can add a shape. So it's the home page where you can change the font, add a shape, add a text box. So now I just pick a rectangle, and I drag the rectangle over the exact size of the ad. And then I kind of get rid of that one behind because it just makes things confusing. If you format the shape, you can change the fill, which is the color that lives here, and the line, which is the border. So what I always do is I give it no fill so that I can work within the boundaries, and I leave the border for now in some color so that I can see what I'm working within. There's Julie from the Summit site just started getting a couple ads, and she did a great thing where she just basically took the words and a photo, and the photo actually on her site, if you check it out on the summit.tipsfromtown.com, looks great. And really, to me, is even much better than what I've been doing in the past. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, we're on the format screen now. You want to be on the home screen in order to pull in an image. So if you get an image from an advertiser, and that should be pretty easy for them to do, and you save it somewhere on your computer, save it to your desktop, you'd be able to pull it in. Now this is an ad that Julie did for a men's clothing manufacturer. So you want to drag the photo so that it fills the border, and then put in their logo or their words. Okay, so sorry, I got interrupted by the doorbell, but the point is, so we pulled in this picture, we expanded it. Again, the most important thing, just like with putting a picture in a feature page, is that you get the width of this right. Even if you do it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, it might not be the exact ad units that the advertiser is paying for or that we have as our standard, but that's okay. It can be longer. It just can't be narrower. So that's the picture that I pulled in. Now I'm just going to pull in the and hopefully I get this one right, the image of the wording for this. Nope, that's Amy Nitz. Sorry, bear with me. This should be it, or the same. There we go. So John Hyatt is the name of the clothing store. So this is obviously way too wide. We can just drag and shrink it so that it fits into the space. And you always want to drag from a corner because that'll change it exactly in the same dimension. Just as an example, if you pull from the side, it will shrink it in a way that does that, which in this circumstance, actually that looks okay, but oftentimes you want to leave things the way they were given to you. So then you have to pull like this. Okay, so there you have those two factors. Now under here, if you wanted, you could put, and you can fit a lot, but if you could put, maybe he wants to say something like fine men's clothing. And to insert some text, you go back to home, insert a text box, and you can drag that to the exact shape of this. And now you can write in here, and I'll just say fine, and I think he sells men and women's clothing, so do men and women's clothing. You'll find a lot of small business owners want it to say click here for more. Although I think internet users obviously know you can click on things to get more information, but sometimes they want that. So there we are. Now if you want to change the font and the size, you do it exactly as you would do it in Word. Sorry, my computer's a little slow today, but one too many things going on, I think. So again, we highlight over the text, change the font, probably want to center it, definitely want to make it larger. This will be 12 points at this level, be unreadable. You could always pull this down a tiny bit to get that click here for more, or you can make the click here for more smaller than the fine men and women's clothing. Okay, and there you have it. Now, I wanted to show you how to make a border around this in a matching color to the design or to the logo. So we're going to go ahead and click on our rectangle, our background rectangle. And once that's highlighted, we want to format it. Just as before, I left this line alone. Now I'm going to change it. I want to make the line this yellow, and I want to make it wider. So I'm going to go to the line. And I don't want to just pick any yellow. I want it to be the exact same yellow as is in his logo. So I'm going to go to More Colors. And it's going to bring me to this screen. If it doesn't bring you to this screen, it might be stuck on this or this. Just go over the left here and click there. Excuse me. Click the little magnifying glass. And you can pull this magnifying glass over any spot on any picture, anywhere that is visible on your desktop. So you could get the same color blue we use on our, I'm over here now, the same color blue we use on our logos. You can get this cool orange that he has here. For our purposes, we're going to click on the yellow that John Hyatt likes to use in its logo. Click, here's the yellow. We can make it a little brighter, a little darker, but it would still have that same quality, that same hue. Click OK. And now this line is that yellow. It's hard to see, so we're going to make it wider. Click here, go to Line Effects or Weights to change the line. Weights is what we're going to do now. We're going to make it, I don't even think 6 points is enough. Let's see. 6 points is okay. I even want to make it more. So we're going to go Weights, More Lines, and we can change the weight to be whatever we want it to be. We can change the style. So we're going to make it 10 points. Click OK. And now you have this nice border. We're going to put the photos back in. Now what I don't like about this right now is that I don't like that this first of all, this black writing I don't like here. So I'm going to change the text box to reflect the color of the boundary. So just like you can change a rectangular shape, you can change a text box in format. And what we want is the fill to be this recent color that we just used. And we want, now I don't like the way necessarily that black looks. Just pretend it's something we want to change. So once we make that a color, we can easily just change the font color in Home to white. White on dark I think stands out nice in the ads. and we probably want to make our rectangle a tiny bit bigger so that it gives that nice area around. That's something you can play with. It's not necessarily perfect, but it's something you can play with. Now let me show you how you save it. Only images that are in JPEG form can be put into our site. You can only save an image on Word in PDF or in like a Word document. So we are going to save it as a PDF. So save as John Hyatt ad. Save it as a PDF by clicking on the format. Save. Then, thinking. If anyone has an easier way to do this, I'm more than happy to hear it too. This is just the best way I found for now to do it very simply and easily. Then we're going to go ahead and open in our desktop the John Hyatt ad. So we called it John, and now we're opening it up in preview as our, did I change it? Maybe I left it in documents. There it is. And we're going to open it up. Now my default is preview. I imagine your default is preview as well. So this should pop up in a preview window. And from there, we can save it as a JPEG. It seems like a lot of steps, but I promise once you do a couple of them, you can pretty much do it in a few minutes. Now you have it in preview. This is a very useful tool as well, so pay attention to this. If you go to File and you take a screenshot, you can basically take a picture of what is on the entire preview screen, or you can pick what you want. So I take a screenshot from a selection. It will give me these nice little crosshairs. I pull down, not that blue, you want this, there we go. And it should take this screenshot picture for me. I'm going to do that again. Screenshot from selection. Drag over the crosshairs. Click, takes the picture. Should bring it up in a new window. I'm going to save that as a JPEG. I apologize, something's running on my computer, but I want to get this done. I'll do another one of these that's moving a little faster in the future. But for now, save it as a JPEG. I always make it the best quality. I don't know if it makes too much of a difference. Save, and there you have it. Now you have that ad, and you can use it as an image in any of your ad banners, which I'll show you in another video. Very briefly, just because that's probably enough information for now, I wanted to show you one other feature. So now, I don't love the way this this is kind of coming out over here. I'd rather these pictures be behind the rectangle. So if you right-click on anything that you're working on and you arrange, you can send that to the back. And actually that brings my picture too far out. So I'm going to send this picture, I don't like the way it's hovering over here, so we're going to send that picture to the back. See how that works. That's a little bit better. This was cut off before, but it might be getting cut off a little bit more from these lines. You can play with that. Another very interesting way to play with where they sit in levels on the screen in terms of in front and in back of each other. You can click on Format, click on Reorder Objects. It's going to do this cool thing where you see what's in front and what's behind. So right now you have, this is your first image, this is your second, this is third, fourth, and you can easily just click on one and move it if that's what you want to do. You can move this to the back, you can move this behind this, depending on, you can play with this. When you're done, you just simply click OK, and you have a decent ad there that you can pop up in your screen. Doing much more than this for business owners is going to be hard because it would just be too time consuming unless they want to pay for a graphic designer. So here's a quick kind of easy way that you can get something up there for them that looks, I think pretty good once you get it on the site.